your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the Southeast to offer multi-unit hair grafting and the 45-minute PRP treatments. Grow your hair back. Call now for a free in-person evaluation. 904-777-IHRS, 904-777-4477, or visit hairforme.com.
Pastor Joby Martin here with the Church of 1122. We are honored once again to partner with the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for the Great Futures Weekend, which includes golf and Mackenzie's 5K run at the esteemed TPC Stadium course. Help us continue to honor Mackenzie Wilson's legacy. That's Friday and Saturday, November 17th and 18th. You can golf or you can run. It'll be a great time. Additional info at MackenzieRun.org. Proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida.
The Friday night lights have been shining all over the First Coast. This is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. Friday Night Lights. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now it's time to break it all down. Here are your hosts, Hacker and Andrew Gibson.
And a very good Friday evening to you, Jacksonville. Round number 1 of the FHSAA State High School Football Playoffs, all but in the rearview mirror now. Almost every game involving local teams has gone final. Here is what the scoreboard looks like. Niceville comes over to Northeast Florida tonight, takes care of Nice. The Panther season ends this evening, 55-21. Niceville advances. The Rains Vikings, the number 1 seed in the 2M region, they take care of Jackson tonight, 42-2. Rains advances, and they will take on Bowles next week. What a game in round 2. You heard it right here on 1010XL. Bowles a winner over Bishop Kenny tonight, so that does mean Bowles and Rains next week. Other finals, Riverside a winner tonight, 49-7 over Episcopal. The Generals advance. Baker County is a winner, 38-21 over Baldwin. Baker County advances, and they will travel to Yulee next week, as Yulee is a winner tonight over Keystone Heights, 36-10. It is a final in Orlando. Mandarin goes into Winter Park and wins 29-16. Congratulations to the Mustangs. They are winners tonight as well. As I welcome in Andrew Gibson. Gibby, we'll get to all the scores in a moment. But right off the bat, good win for Mandarin against a previously undefeated Winter Park team.
Yeah, really good victory for Mandarin. You know, it's a second season when you get to the playoffs. Mandarin had their ups and downs. They started off very good in the regular season. They had a couple of games where they had a lot of turnovers. You know, going back to that Lake Mary game, they turned it over 5 times, and that was uncharacteristic of their team throughout the season. But Mandarin starting off strong, scoring 29 points. We know that offense has a lot of firepower, but to go down to Winter Park and beat a previously unbeaten team is impressive stuff for Toby Bullock and Mandarin.
We'll start lining up some victorious head coaches in a moment. How about Ponte Vedra, a winner tonight over Creekside? These two teams played 7 days ago. Creekside won the game at the rematch tonight. Ponte Vedra gets it done, Gibby, 49-36, eliminating Creekside.
Yeah, we talked about this game in the pregame, of course, and I had the hunch that this was going to be a really high-scoring game just because of the fact that it's the playoffs, and you got to leave everything out there. You can't have any stone left unturned, and that's exactly what happened in this game. The rematch was not quite as high-scoring in the regular season, but this game tonight really was, and Ponte Vedra able to get it done. 26-21 was the last game last week. This game much different on the scoreboard, 49-36.
Things did not go well for a couple of our schools. First Coast traveling to Orlando. Look, Edgewater is one of the best teams in the state. Edgewater gets it done, 37-6, eliminating First Coast. Ed White had to go to Orlando tonight as well to take on Bishop Moore, and Bishop Moore beats Ed White 42-22. So unfortunately, Gibby, the season ends tonight for both Ed White and First Coast.
Yeah, Edgewater, really tough opponent. They were 10-0 in the regular season, so you knew that was going to be a really tough game for First Coast to try to go down there and try to win that football game. And then, look, I mean, when you get into those Orlando, Tampa schools, you just don't know what you're going to get. I mean, you can look at all the film you want. You don't necessarily know exactly what you're going to get. So Unfortunately for Ed White, their season ends tonight.
We talked to Victoria's head coaches here under the Friday Night Lights. It's what we've done for the last 17 years, and they are celebrating a playoff win tonight out in St. Johns County. Brian Braddock of St. Augustine, the now 10-0 St. Augustine Yellow Jackets, a winner over Middleburg. Coach joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Coach, playoff wins, they're obviously hard to do, and you played a good Middleburg team tonight, a Middleburg team that had been very competitive with some very good teams on their schedule. But, man alive, you guys jumped on them early and go on to a blowout win tonight.
Yeah, really a lot of respect for what we had seen of Middleburg on film, and they had played a really, really, really daunting schedule, and was just pleasantly surprised, and I'm proud of our kids with how fast they came out and played, and certainly didn't expect to have a first half like we did, and kids just came out on fire, and it was fun to watch.
Coach, congratulations, first of all. Speaking of a guy that was on fire tonight, Devontae Lyons had a huge game for you tonight. Tell us about his performance. I believe he had a 95-yard touchdown tonight. Tell us about it.
Yeah, he had a big night, and, obviously he's a great player. And our offensive line was terrific. I was concerned about, how well we would hold up. They have a very active front seven. And golly, it was one of the better games I think our kids up front played all year. And, Devontae, he only needs a little bit of help, and he can do special things with the ball. So, yeah, the 95-yard run was certainly a highlight of the night for him. It was pretty cool to see.
Brian Braddock of St. Augustine, winners tonight over Middleburg. Coach, I don't know if you're doing any scoreboard watching, but to my knowledge, somebody's making a 5.5-hour drive to you next week in the Battle of Pensacola. You get the winner of Escambia and Pine Forest, correct?
That's correct, yes, sir.
And what is that? I mean, look, that's a long drive, right? I know you've gone to the Panhandle many times. Now you get one of those teams to come over here. That's got to give you a lot of confidence, a big advantage. Somebody's going to have to drive 6 hours to you next Friday.
Yeah, we're really grateful that we'll be at home. And when you're up here in the northern part of the state, you can be in a region where you're going all the way from East Coast to Alabama. So it's a huge deal to get a high seed so that you can host those games. And, I do know this, though. Whichever team it is between Escambia and Pine Forest, we need every advantage we can get, because that's going to be a beautiful group of athletes rolling in here, whichever one it is, and will be a very, very tough opponent.
For what it's worth, that game started at 8:30 our time, 7:30 Central. Escambia is up 13-0 in the third quarter. Brian Braddock, you will be playing one of those teams next week at St. Augustine High School. Congratulations on a big round one win over Middleburg.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You guys have a great weekend.
Thank you, Coach. That St. Augustine train, Gibby, just keeps rolling, man.
They do. And, Frangie was asking me earlier tonight which teams do we think has a chance to win a state championship, has a shot at one. St. Augustine is squarely in that contention to try to go win a state championship for the Jacksonville area, and it began tonight.
They are celebrating a playoff win up in Nassau County. Kyle Doherty of Yulee, winners tonight over Keystone Heights. Coach joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
That's a big win. Look, that's a huge win for you guys, a dominating win. You get another home playoff game next week, which we'll get to in a moment. You must be very, very pleased right now.
Really pleased with our group. It's, that last loss we took to that team that we're going to face here next week. We have turned it around, focused what we're supposed to do. We've had 4 really good weeks of practice, and it has shown up every single Friday night so far. It was 36-0 at one point in this game tonight. We got to play a lot of kids. They ended up blocking a punt late for a safety and punching one in as the clock was going down. But our group of guys were focused on the task, and they played a great game of football tonight. Offensively, we were efficient, and defense really forced a lot of plays. I think someone told me at halftime we had 5 turnovers.
Coach, congratulations on the big win tonight. You mentioned it was 36-0 at one point. I mean, you guys put it all together on both sides of the football. Just tell us about some of the performances you guys had tonight.
Yeah, Keontae Artis Croxton, he had a couple rushing touchdowns. Nico Smith was lights out. I can't say enough about what he was bringing to the table tonight. He was lights out the entire time. We had big plays from a bunch of receivers. We just put it together. We were really efficient offensively. We fumbled the ball on a drive early, and then we punted right before halftime. And then punted again our one drive in our second drive in the second half. We only had two drives in the second half. We scored on one and punted on the other. So offensively, we were incredibly efficient. Defense, Shamarion Gibbs had an interception that he returned and got called back. Jasir Richardson had a big interception in the game. Braylon Ricks forced a bunch of plays. Amari Goff that we have back from injury. I mean, thank God we have that kid back. He had an injury earlier in the year, so he hasn't played since Titusville, week 2. And we are really happy to have him back for this Baker County game. That kid is a tackling machine.
Kyle Doherty of Yulee, winners tonight over Keystone Heights. All right, you mentioned the team that you're going to see next week. You get them at home. Baker County was a winner. You're a winner. That's the 2 versus the 3. Baker's got to come up to Nassau County. I imagine, Coach, now that it's that time of year, you probably knew it was going to come to this, right? You probably knew at some point you were going to see Baker again in the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I kind of so the writing was on the wall, 2 or 3 weeks, pretty much a week or 2 after we played them. The writing was kind of on the wall where this was going to end up, and both of us took care of business, and here we are. I mean, there's no better feeling than going up and having another opportunity, another shot at them. Our kids are hungry. The only thing that I hope for is that we come out ready to go to practice and come out ready to perform at practice and put together the game plan and really get after it. Baker County is a good football team. They're going to be really well coached. They're going to have answers. They're going to make us work hard. And I just hope our kids come ready to go and play a really great game Friday night and give us a shot.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a big playoff win. Baker County, Yulee next week for a right to play in the regional final. Congratulations, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Kyle Doherty of Yulee, winners tonight. So we've talked to Nassau County. We've talked to St. Johns County. Let's get a victorious head coach from Duval County. Let's head to the Graveyard. Donovan Maslin of Rains, winners tonight over Jackson. They advance into round 2. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. It's always great to hear from you guys.
Hey, Coach, appreciate the time. Boy, based on the score, that's a good Jackson team. And look, you guys looked like you had very little trouble tonight.
Yeah, it started out slow. I mean, we started fast, and then it kind of got slow for us in that second quarter. We went in 13-2, and then we did a surprise onside to start the game, went down and scored. So that was a good thing. And then we kind of got going in that second half defensively. We came out, and I think we had about 6 interceptions, and we returned 2 of those for a touchdown, and had a big play on special teams. They muffed the punt, and we recovered it in the end zone. So it was good complimentary football in all 3 phases of the game, and it was good to see, good to watch.
Coach, you mentioned you guys started a surprise onside kick. Was that film study? What was that, a gut feeling? What was the decision on that?
I just wanted to try to get a quick start to steal a possession offensively. It's something that we worked on, and one of my coaches, he watched film very well, and he came to me and said, "Coach, they're bailing on the front line. They've been doing it all year." So, we went out there and we executed very well. Jalen Clark, he's done a great job in our kicking game for his punts and kickoffs. So, the kids came out and executed, and then, offensively we was able to come out and have a big drive on that first possession, and, it just continued in the rest of the night.
Donovan Maslin of Rains, winners tonight over Jackson. Coach, I have no doubt that you've looked at the scoreboard and you're very aware of what we're very excited about. Next week, 1010 XL, 92.5 FM, round 2 of the state playoffs. The Bulls, Bulldogs, the Rains Vikings in the Graveyard. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
You're right, man. It's a great matchup that's been going on for a long time, and it's going to be great. Both teams are playing good football as of late, and this year we're in the Graveyard, and we're excited to host the game and to be able to play in front of our home fans, and it's going to be a great matchup. The kids are excited. We understand what it felt like last year, losing that regional final game to them, so. The kids are going to be really, really pumped for this one, and the film study, the preparation. Those are the things that the kids enjoy, and Friday night is just those kids going out there having fun and just executing and coming out victorious.
Coach, thanks again for your help and getting Jayon Simon in the studio on Tuesday. That had to be a pretty cool moment for him.
Yeah, it definitely was. We had testing, so some of our seniors were testing. So I thought about Jayon. He does a great job speaking, and he understands what it means to be a Viking and, what we stand for and what our culture is. And, I'm pretty sure he did a great job and, had a great time doing it. He's a great kid, all-around kid, 3.0 plus GPA. So, it's only right that he get an opportunity just to kind of, get out and, speak a little bit about himself and, about the Reigns football program.
Donovan Maslin of Reigns, winners tonight over Jackson. You'll hear him next week. Right here on 1010XL, Bowles and Reigns in round 2 of the state playoffs. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, man. Y'all have a great weekend, okay?
60 seconds away from Jamie Rogers. Quickly, Gibby, and we'll talk more about this as the evening goes on. Early thought, Bowles and Reigns next week.
It's going to be a really good game. I mean, they had 6 interceptions. Coach Maslin said they had 6 interceptions on defense tonight. That's ridiculous. So, they're putting together a complete product. They still have not lost to a Jacksonville school this year, and now we're going into the second round of the playoffs.
A team that hasn't lost to a Jacksonville school or any other school, for that matter, is Bradford County. Jamie Rogers, the head coach of Bradford County, they're winners tonight over Atlantic. Coach Rogers joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, fellas. How y'all doing?
Coach, we're good. Congrats on the first round win tonight, and boy, you must be very, very pleased. It's survive and advance, and you guys thrived tonight.
Yeah, it's what it's about in the tournament. Go from 32 to 16. We're fortunate to get a lot of people some playing time tonight. Got a lot of guys some experience. Played really well in all 3 phases again in the first half. So you kind of want to. I mean, this is as a coach, this is what you look for. We're getting everybody healthy. We had a string of injuries throughout the middle, week 6, week 7, week 8, but we're getting everybody back at the right time, and we're playing well.
Coach, you've been at this a long time. You've coached a lot of playoff games. Does anything change for you as a head coach going into the playoffs? Do you treat anything differently going into playoff games like this?
It's a really good question. I think it's by the team. Some teams that are older and more experienced, like this one. I've had these guys I've been with them for over 2 years now, and they're very experienced. A lot of these guys have been playing since they were 9th and 10th graders, and so I think it's team by team. This one's very experienced, and they like to play together. Like I said, I know I've tried to probably mention it too much, but they've played together since they were 6U. So I don't have we treat it just like all the other games that we've had so far. Sometimes you have to in practice probably maybe go live a little bit more or a little bit less or what have you based off the physicality of your team. But with this group, I'm able to we do what we do on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, try to prepare the best way and come out on Friday and play.
Jamie Rogers of Bradford County, winners tonight. Coach, the way I've always looked at the playoffs, look, you got to be a decent team to get in. I'm not saying you don't have to, but the first round you play the round of 32, but now you kind of get into it, right? Now when there's 16 teams left in the entire state in your classification, everybody's good. And you're going to play a Gainesville Eastside team next week that had a hard-fought victory over Palatka. So what do we know about them, and what are your early thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, if you look at the back half of their schedule, they played. They had a lot of. They got to play a lot of guys, and there's some 42-0 in there and things like that. And they, been doing a little bit of research on them. They're running the ball a lot better than they did in the first half of the season. So, but like you said, there's 16 teams left. Everybody's good. There will be no cakewalks, and it's now who's going to prepare the best, who plays the hardest, the longest, all those things. Who's the most physical? That's what it'll come down to. offensive linemen, defensive linemen. I preach that a lot. So I think that's, whoever's the best in the trenches, whoever's most physical, that'll be the team that wins.
And as we know, somebody's going to have to figure out how to go into Bradford and win because the Tornadoes have home field for the next couple of rounds. Jamie Rogers of Bradford County, winners tonight over Atlantic. They will have Gainesville Eastside, round 2, next week in the state playoffs. Congratulations, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Big win for Bradford. So, Gibby, we've talked to Bradford and St. Augustine, the two teams in our area that came in undefeated. Very little trouble for either team tonight in round 1.
Yeah, and you look at what Bradford's done, it's another shutout. They pitch another shutout tonight, beating Atlantic 42-0. Let's see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 shutouts.
And a couple of games they allowed like a field goal.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, they've allowed double digits once this year.
Yeah. Absolutely insane.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, Bradford County has got a defense. Now, I thought their defense was good last year. You could argue their defense might even be better this year. All right, we talked to a bunch of coaches. I think we just knocked out 4 right then and there. We'll give you a complete scoreboard update. We'll check in with Mandarin. That is a very happy Mandarin bus coming home from Orlando. They were winners. We will tell you a couple of games still ongoing. Fletcher is unfortunately about to lose, it looks like, to Tampa Bay Tech. That game about to go final in Tampa. I don't know what's going on out at Navarre. There's no defense being played. I think it's 42-42. Navarre and Bartram Trail in the third quarter.
Love it.
What an offensive explosion. Boy, if Bartram could go 6 hours out to Navarre and come back with a win, how great would that be? Now, that game started at 8:30 Eastern Time, so we will try to keep you updated on that as we move along. It is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Friday Night Lights, we are presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic Service, and Air Conditioning with Andrew Gibson, with R.J. Saunders. R.J. back under the Friday Night Lights with us. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. Jacksonville will be with you for at least another hour right here. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
A Sunday drive can be a relaxing cruise in the country unless it's the drive of the game. Listen for the Tire Outlet Drive of the Game on 1010XL. Tire Outlet. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Whether you are looking for a job or an employer trying to hire, there's only one stop in Jacksonville, Remedy Staffing. Labor trends keep us guessing. As employers, the job market has been strong. So what does that mean for workers' availability? If you're interested in the workforce solutions or how the Remedy team can help you, call or text Crystal at 904-329-9802. 329-9802, Remedy Staffing.
Gator games can be full of ups and downs, and I'll share my thoughts as soon as the game ends. I'm Hayes Carline. Listen for my instant reaction, brought to you by 5-Star Pizza, bigger, better, faster pizza on 1010XL social channels.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is holding their annual Bumps and Bruises clinics every Saturday morning through early November. These injury evaluations are absolutely free and open to every school and athletic program. So see us this Saturday morning at 3 North Florida locations from 9 to 10. The Brooks Center for Sports Therapy inside the YMCA. Preferred Physical Therapy, Fleming Island. And at Atlas Physical Therapy in St. Johns County.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
You can play golf with Josh Scobie and other former Jaguars players and celebrities while raising money for the First Tee. November 13th at Deerwood Country Club's First Tee Open.
Your high school girls can join the Duval Tides girls rugby team. No tryouts and no experience necessary. Learn everything you need to know at Jack's HS Girls Rugby on Facebook and Instagram.
To walk in the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Light the Night Walk on November 16th at UNF. Register at lightthe.night.org.
Your kids 6 to 18 can compete in track and field in the Police Athletic League. Sign up at jackspalsports.org.
Having a mentor can positively change a young life right here in Jacksonville. It only takes 4 to 7 hours a month to be a big brother or big sister and change a life forever. Become a big today at bbsnefl.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Hacker here, and look, football season is in full swing, and no game day setup is complete without the Sausage Dude sausage. I'm a sausage guy, and the Sausage Dude sausage is the best sausage I've ever had. Try their 4 terrific flavors, including Polish, Hungarian, beer bratwurst with jalapeno, and my personal favorite, the Italian today, by picking them up at any Publix in the Jacksonville area. Football and sausage, it's a winning combination. Go get the Sausage Dude sausage at any Publix in the Jacksonville area right now.
This is your Mad Dads Update with Chapter President Donald Ford. Mad Dads is asking for good, committed men who want to be part of an organization that has been around for 17 years. We are a group that is part of the solution, not the problem. We are a group that don't stand around murmuring and complaining, but get into action and hit the streets to get the community to break the code of silence to remove the murderers off our streets. We do not require a lot of time, just willing and able bodies to get involved. We've had far too many murders this year already not to get involved. If you want to be part of this great organization, call 904-718-1649. We're looking for men, not men acting like boys. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think. For information about Mad Dad, go to Mad Dads Jacksonville Chapter Facebook or MadDadsJacksonville.com.
These fall months are the perfect time to make sure that your roof has not been damaged after the storm season. So schedule a complimentary roof inspection with Universal Roof and Contracting. And right now, get 15% off your roof replacement and repairs. Plus, there's flexible financing options available. This offer expires November 30th and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I know football.
Now, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Coaches Corner on 1010XL.
Boy, it was a big one down in Mandarin for the Mustangs going to Orlando to take on Winter Park, a very good Winter Park team. Mandarin gets it done, 29-16. I imagine that is a very happy bus returning to Duval County. Toby Bullock, the head coach of Mandarin, here with us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Coach, I wonder your reaction. I was, quite frankly, shocked when I saw you guys were having to travel in round one and go to a Winter Park team that was very, very good. But the shock wore off pretty quick when you guys jumped on them pretty early. What was the thought leading into this game? And obviously your guys performed beautifully.
Well, a couple things. We don't really mind the traveling too much. Sometimes traveling's not bad for you. It allows you to get locked in and what have you and be around your kids and the camaraderie. But more so than anything, it's pointless to have districts if you're not going to have a home game if you win a district title, which I'm in favor of getting rid of the districts if that's what they want to do and go with an all-seeding thing. It doesn't really bother me, but districts are kind of dumb. It's now pointless to win a district title. No one's gotten it worse than Bartram Trail this week, where they got to go all the way 5.5 hours to a seed lower than them.
Yeah, no, I agree. You and Bartram were the two on Sunday morning that I couldn't believe what ended up happening. And then you draw Winter Park, and we know how good Winter Park is. But, Coach, you guys jumped on them pretty early and didn't let them off the mat.
our defense. So we got the defense came out, got us a really short field. We pumped. We ended up punching it in, got the ball back with a little longer field. Was able to go down again and get it in. And in the first quarter, we were just really rolling offensively. And then we only got to one drive in the second quarter. And then the second half, we said we're just going to run, keep our defense off field so they can stay fresh flying around. And we had some questionable flags that kept some drives going for Winter Park. But all in all, the defense was amazing tonight, and the offense came to play.
Coach, tell us about what Tiant Weish has meant to your team this year. I saw some of his regular season stats earlier this week, like 10 yards per carry, something like that. I mean, he's had a huge year for you.
Simply put, he's the best running back in possibly in Florida. And no running backs is good, just does everything by themselves. Every running back has a line, and the combination of our offensive line and him. And what a lot of people don't know is Deshard, our number 2 back, has 775 yards rushing and 8 yards to carry with him. They're a dynamic duo. I said at the beginning of the year, and our offense relies on them, and we're going to hopefully ride them much further into the playoffs.
Toby Bullock, the head coach of Mandarin, here with us. They are winners tonight over Winter Park. Coach, you were on the staff when Mandarin won a state championship a few years ago, and I remember we had Bobby Ramsey on, and he had the quote at the time, you're going to control Orlando better than Walt Disney did, because you had to beat like every Orlando school to get to that state championship. It appears you're going down the same path. Winter Park tonight, you're a winner. Next week, it appears to be Lake Mary again, the team you already saw in the regular season.
Yep, that is such a Bobby Ramsey quote. I mean, if anything's Bobby Ramsey, Bobby has great one-liners. But yeah, we were fortunate that year. I don't like to look at 18 too much. It was a very different team with Carson and them. I don't feel anybody's going to be better than us on paper. And I think if you look at the 3 losses we have this year, we hurt ourselves. Penalties or turnovers or what have you, and not executing what we do. It's going to come down to us doing what we need to do. And we really, when we lost to Lake Mary, we said we knew that we'd get them in round 2 or round 3, and it was a goal to get back and face them.
Well, that's what you got. If I recall, you had 5 turnovers in that previous game against Lake Mary. How do you prevent that from happening this time?
Well, I think a famous saying that, or I guess not really famous, no one really says it, but it's called chasing the rabbit. And when you have something go bad, you can't just run after that full head of steam. You can't just devote everything to that, because then you're going to be crap in another area. You focus on it, you concentrate on it, you make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, that we're making smarter decisions with the ball, that we have 2 hands on the ball and things like that, that we're crisp, and that they're not coming out trying to throw cold or long snap cold or something like that, that you're on your game on the sideline and all week. And hopefully we'll get the bounces and we'll get the calls, and our kids will come to play.
Mandarin a winner tonight over Winter Park. They advance round 2 next week against Lake Mary. Toby Bullock of Mandarin. Coach, I know that's a very excited bus. Safe travels back home, and we'll talk to you next week, my friend.
Thank you so much, guys. Plus 2.
Toby Bullock of Mandarin. Little bragging rights there for Jacksonville going down to Orlando and getting one.
Yeah, it's huge. That team, and Toby just said it, on paper, they're as good as anybody. And, they just can't beat themselves, because if they go out and they play their game, Mandarin can stack up with anybody in the state.
Their problem is, and we got the good Dr. Kevin Murphy 30 seconds away, and it's going to be the problem of anybody in Jacksonville for the foreseeable future. With the way it is in Metro, you're going to have to go through Orlando in the first 3 rounds, and guess what your reward is after that? Miami in the state semis and the state final. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. And if they go through 3 Orlando teams and 2 Miami teams, they will be earning a state championship. There is no question about that. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Boy, they've been with us for so many years under the Friday Night Lights. They are a gigantic part of what we do, and that also means the good doctor, Kevin Murphy, who's been with us every week here on 1010XL. Doc, how we doing?
Good. How are you boys doing?
Doc, we're good. You played football. You obviously work with a lot of student athletes now. Something special, Doc, about playoff night.
Oh, it's awesome. This is what it's all about. when you're playing in November, you're loving it. It's awesome. And so, this is gravy on the turkey, buddy. So these guys are all loving it and eating it up. So the players love it, the coaches love it. This is prime time right here.
The good Dr. Kevin Murphy, Southeast orthopedic specialist. Of course, he had the bump and bruise clinics all year long during the regular season. Doc, I want to talk about, you and Southeast orthopedic specialist in a moment. Before we get there, some Jaguar-related injury news as far as hamstrings. And we've asked you about hamstrings this year, but primarily that of Tyson Campbell and Andre Sisco. Neither guy has played a football game in basically 3.5 weeks. It'd almost be a month in Tyson Campbell's circumstance. Both guys listed as questionable on the injury report. Doc, 4 weeks. Is that enough time for a hamstring to heal for these guys to get back out there on Sunday?
Hamstrings take 3 months. 3 months. Coming back at a month, you're not perfect. It depends on the degree. Obviously, if it's a complete tear, it's 3 months. Somewhat less than that, you can get back sooner. But hamstrings are a tough thing. It's hard to know. You see the guys out there, and everybody looks at them. Oh, they're out there running around on the practice field. Well, they're not sprinting. They're not going full speed, going that extra step to get that pass that is just out of their reach that they're really sprinting for. That is the one that rips their hamstring. So it's tough. It's tough to know. They feel good, and when they go out and then they rip it again, you're like, oh, they came back too soon. And that's always what happens. So it's a tough decision. But as you get further into the season, you're going to put them in there. So if they don't hurt, they're going to play, and they're probably coming back here shortly.
Doc, this is an injury that, it just sounds awful. So Justin Fields dislocated his thumb in a game, and he hasn't played in 4 or 5 weeks. Last night the Bears played, he didn't play. With a thumb dislocation, this is on the right hand, the throwing hand. Do you have surgery for that? How do you treat a dislocation of a thumb?
Well, this is this is a real big problem. So when you dislocate your thumb, you rip the ligament that connects the thumb. And it's when you grip, the ligament that connects the thumb to the inside part of your hand is torn, and so you can't grip. So when you grip, the thumb kind of slides out to the side, and you have no grip strength. So to hold a ball, to throw, you can't squeeze the ball because every time you squeeze, that ligament is lax, and it allows the thumb to slide out, and you can't hold the ball. So it's a problem. So most of those, and there's a couple ways to look at it. So you MRI the thing. If the ligament, and it's the ulnar, again, this ulnar collateral ligament, much like the elbow, if it tears off completely and it pulls away from the bone and is separated by other tissues from the bone, it won't heal, and you have to fix that. If it's sitting in place, you can splint it and let it heal. But if you play with it and it displaces, then you end to the point where you have to operate on it. So it's a touchy problem. Tough to play with, probably not able to play as a quarterback to grip the ball.
There's injuries all over the National Football League. It's that time of year, no question about it. The good Dr. Kevin Murphy, Southeast orthopedic specialist. Doc, you guys have been part of the Friday Night Lights for years. I believe we're going to do one more show next week in round number 2. But just talk about yourself, Southeast orthopedic specialist, and what you do for the high schools and the students in this community year after year after year. Obviously, high school athletics and helping these young men and women perform at their best, that is a big part of what you guys are all about at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Yeah, you talk about, I played in college. You play on Saturday, and if you get hurt, you go in on Sunday and you get treated. And that's kind of what we developed with this bump and bruise clinic. We don't do it in the playoffs because it's a limited number of players that come in because of limited teams playing. They're out of town, and we don't get much use out of that. But that's kind of the premise, and we're trying to help guys get back to play quicker. So, we're all about getting these athletes back on the field and safely and taking care of them. So, it's a full-time job trying to get these guys back, and we're all about taking care of these high school athletes.
You want an ultimate endorsement, I tell people every year. when you allow somebody to operate on your wife's shoulder, you trust the guy. And I trust the good doctor, Kevin Murphy of Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, who's operated on my wife and other family members actually as well. Doc, all right, for people that have listened every single week, maybe they didn't want to go to the bump and bruise clinics, maybe they have a shoulder or something nagging them, and they want to contact you, your office, they want to come talk to you guys about treatment and things along those lines. Best way to get in touch with you, the good folks at Southeast Ortho, how should they go about doing that?
Yeah, se-ortho.com or 634-0640. We'll get you in quickly. And again, if you say you're an athlete, there's a separate, track. We get you in there quickly, and Amy Rossoff, she really gets you pushing in there. So we'll push it along.
The good doctor, Kevin Murphy, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Doc, appreciate it, my friend. We'll do it one more time next week.
Thanks, brother.
Always enjoy the good doctor, Kevin Murphy, and I mean that. Every year under the Friday Night Lights, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been a big, big part of what we have done. More victorious head coaches. We'll hopefully catch up with Steve Price of Ponte Vedra. Kevin Mays of Baker County was a winner. Also, who am I missing? Antoine Nicholas of Riverside was a winner tonight. Do we have a Bartram update right now?
Let's see. Bartram Trail and Navarre.
The game's out in the Central Time Zone.
49-42 Bartram, fourth quarter.
49-42 Bartram in the fourth quarter. Tampa Bay Tech, I believe, has just finished off Fletcher. Tampa Bay Tech was up 51-34 late in the fourth. We'll also try to catch down, by the way, Matthew Toblin was a winner tonight for Bowles, so we'll try to get him on the horn as well. 11 o'clock hour is arriving. We're with you for at least another 30 or 40 minutes, Jacksonville, under the Friday Night Lights. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic Service, and Air Conditioning with Andrew Gibson and R.J. Saunders. The hacker Ryan Green with you here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
From the edge of your radio to the edge of your seat. Showtime! Feel the excitement of live play-by-play.
And this place is rocking right now.
On 1010XL.
Say big, big, big at Key Buick GMC, like $14,500 off all new GMC trucks. Need some low APR rates? Key Buick GMC has them. 0.9% for 36 months, 3.3% for 48 months, 4.3% for 60 months, 5.75% for 72 months. No payments up to 120 days. As always, whenever you purchase a brand new vehicle from Key Buick GMC, it comes with the lifetime powertrain warranty. Across the street from Tinseltown, Southside and Gate.
The year is almost over. Do you need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Listen, if you have a ton of equity in your house, and Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash, you can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards, pay off personal loans, or start that home improvement project. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact, so your 3% rate, it's protected. And with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line program, 90% of the time, there's no need for an appraisal. So you can get your money super fast. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards before the new year. Get yourself on solid financial footing before the year ends and call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
1010XL is a proud sponsor of Operation New Uniform's 10th Annual Heroes Gala, featuring retired Army Lieutenant Colonel and former Congressman Alan West. Saturday, December 2nd at Sawgrass Marriott. Operation Uniform is a free, life-changing program that helped me, David Trenholm, successfully transition from a 20-year career in the United States Navy to the business world. Join 1010XL and sponsor Operation Uniform's 10th Annual Heroes Gala today. Go to onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org. today.
Hicken here with Zero Res. Let them help you get ready for the holiday. Book today and Zero Res will clean your carpets for only $49 a room. Let's give you 25% off your tile and grout cleaning. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. Even out the wrinkles from a full football weekend.
Did you ever wear a uniform?
Get all the inside of Sunday's game on Postgame Monday. Brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff.
All right, let's do it.
On 1010XL.
Are you ready for the ultimate happy hour experience?
Look no further than Bellwether, downtown's undisputed champion of good times. It's Tuesday through Saturday from 4 to 7 p, with the exception on Friday when happy hour starts at 11 a.m. Rally the team and head over to Bellwether. The vibe is full and the food is unbeatable. Free parking after 6 p on weekdays and all weekend. Bellwether Restaurant, where great food and the best happy hour in town come together for an epic win.
He's a sausage man.
Albert Hainsworth is the reason why I retired.
Football and sausage go together like Leon and XL Primetime. Brought to you by the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose. Weekdays on 1010XL.
You know, real estate research right now says housing prices are still rising slowly and inventory is still below historical averages. That means if you think your home right now is unsellable or there's a host of problems, then you haven't met Chad and Sandy, who will make sure those problems become promises. Chad and Sandy are the only real estate experts we trust and recommend with the sale of your home. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts. Derek and Ashley out in St. John's Harbor said we were building a new home, but we had a big problem. 2 months on the market, and we had no showings and no offers with another agent. We were super stressed. Then we heard Chad and Sandy guarantee sale on the radio and hired them. They created an amazing plan to sell quickly and maximize price. The home sold in 10 days for more money than the previous realtor had listed. That's the promise and the proof of ChadandSandy.com. Go there today, ChadandSandy.com, or call them in office, 904-414-6200.
If you're looking for exterior solutions that provide you reliability and durability, it's time to call Armor Guard Exteriors. Whether you need seamless gutters or gutter protection, hurricane products, impact windows, glass lanais, or retractable awnings and screens, we've got you covered. Call My Home Team today for your 5-star experience at 904-906-8669.
Armor Guard Exteriors, committed to quality, and that's a promise.
Pastor Joby Martin here with the Church of 1122. We are honored once again to partner with the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for the Great Futures Weekend, which includes golf and Mackenzie's 5K run at the esteemed TPC Stadium course. Help us continue to honor Mackenzie Wilson's legacy. That's Friday and Saturday, November 17th and 18th. You can golf or you can run. It'll be a great time. Additional info at MackenzieRun.org. Proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is holding their annual Bumps and Bruises clinics every Saturday morning through early November. These injury evaluations are absolutely free and open to every school and athletic program. So see us this Saturday morning at 3 North Florida locations from 9 to 10. The Brooks Center for Sports Therapy inside the YMCA. Preferred Physical Therapy, Fleming Island. And at Atlas Physical Therapy in St. Johns County.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Winter in Jacksonville is mild, but you still want your furnace or heat pump at its best.
Imagine a cold home when your heater isn't up to the task. Don't be left in the cold.
Call Duck Duck Air Conditioning, your go-to mechanical contractor for top-notch HVAC services across Northeast Florida.
Let us keep you warm and cozy. Contact Duck Duck Air Conditioning at 904-862-6769.
Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our priority. 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckac.com.
In this moment, Ice Nine Kills, Kiss of Death Tour, special guests Avatar and New Year's Day. Friday, November 17th, Daly's Place. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. In this moment, Ice Nine Kills. Live in concert.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Kevin Mays of Baker County, 60 seconds away. Round one of the FHSAA state playoffs. Scoreboard looks like this. The Nice Panthers season has come to an end. Niceville, 55-21 over Nice. Raines, 42-2 over Jackson. Raines advances next week. They will get Bowles in the graveyard because Bowles eliminated Bishop Kenny earlier tonight, a game you heard right here on 1010XL. Riverside, a winner, 49-7 over Episcopal. Riverside will now host Bishop Moore out of Orlando as Bishop Moore ends Ed White's season tonight as Ed White falls to Bishop Moore. The Bradford County Tornadoes winners 42-0. They advance to take on Gainesville Eastside as Gainesville Eastside eliminated Palatka 28-27. Orlando Edgewater eliminates First Coast. Buccaneers, a great season, Gibby, a district championship. Edgewater is just a different animal. They're 10-0, and Edgewater wins 37-6.
Yeah, they've got some of the better recruits in the state. They're an undefeated team, and if that is the end for Coach Marty Lee, we don't know that for sure, but we've heard that. And if it is the end, what an incredible ambassador for high school football here in the Jacksonville area.
Like I told you, he's been a terrific asset. He's an even better guy than he is a coach, and he's been a great coach, and we'll see what happens with Marty moving forward. Yulee, a winner, 36-10 over Keystone Heights. More on that in just a moment. How about Ponte Vedra over Creekside? That game was played 7 days ago. Creekside won. The rematch tonight, Ponte Vedra gets it done over Creekside.
Yeah, and a very high-scoring game tonight. Figured that was going to happen in this one. Had a hunch before this game tonight that it was going to be a 40, 50-plus point type of game, and that's exactly what we saw. Ponte Vedra, they were on this hot stretch, won, 7 in a row, and then lost a couple here the last few weeks. Maybe they've found their groove again. Baker County and Baldwin tonight. That was a rematch of a terrific game in the regular season, and Baker County once again gets it done. 38-21 winners over Baldwin. Kevin Mays is the head coach of Baker County. He's with us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Coach, that's a big one, right? Baldwin, that's a good football team, and for you to knock them off twice in less than about 7 or 8 weeks' time, you must be very, very happy right now.
Yeah, real proud of the team, the way we came out, and today was probably a tough day for a lot of us. Just, the school being out, you weren't on the same schedule, so you weren't sure how the kids would respond, but we came out and played really well tonight.
Coach, you guys have won 6 games in a row going back to the regular season. That includes a couple playoff teams like Yulee and Jackson, who was in the first round tonight. What has been the key for you guys the last 6 weeks?
Our defense has played pretty good all year, and I think offensively we've settled in. Hudson Register, right after the Baldwin game last time, we've settled on him as being the quarterback, and he's put the offense on his back and carried us and done a really good job. And just, team coming together and wanting to win and having the goals and, that stuff just makes us, has made us feel good about ourselves, I guess you'd say.
Kevin Mays of Baker County. Coach, you and I have talked about this during the regular season. Between injuries, things that happened that quite frankly weren't, in your control, things you just had to deal with as a head coach in high school football. You've had a lot of different players that have had to step up this year. I mean, it must be very satisfying. There's only 16 teams left in the state in your classification, and you're one of them. I mean, it must feel pretty good right now to overcome what you've overcame so far this year.
Yeah, when you look back and do a little self-reflection on yourself, you do feel good as far as all the goals we've had to come over or hop over this year. And guys that we didn't think were going to step up and play have stepped up and played. I mean, we're playing with a lot of 9th and 10th graders and the seniors that have stepped up and been the leaders that you maybe didn't think were going to be. Really proud of this team, and it's been real rewarding coming down this stretch right here.
Coach, you've had experience in the playoffs for sure. What is the key for you as a head coach to getting things done in the playoffs?
Big thing for me is making sure the kids get there Friday healthy. I mean, we got a couple kids, with some what I'd call just boo-boos, and we will take care of them this week and try to get them healthy. Some coaches do a bunch of hitting and stuff during the week at this point in the season. We try to just keep our guys healthy and keep them focused and get have them as prepared as they can be mentally and physically ready to go Friday night.
Matt Toblin of Bowles, less than 2 minutes away, wrapping things up with Kevin Mays of Baker County. Coach, you had a rematch tonight. You get it done again over Baldwin, and that gets you another rematch next week. And look, the FHSAA does things their way. I don't really understand how you could win a district championship over Yulee, and yet you're going to be the road team next week. I'm sure we could spend an hour on that. But nevertheless, you're going to Nassau County to play Yulee in a rematch of what was a very competitive game a couple of weeks ago.
And I would say this, we're happy to be in this situation we're in. Like you said, we're one of 16 teams, and we talked about that at the end of the game tonight. But it's not as fun for us or even the players to play. We played Baldwin 4 times in a year. We're going to play Yulee 4 times in a year. And if we happen to get past that, we're going to end up playing Bradford 4 times in a year. And it just, you'd like to be able to play somebody different and, go back to maybe the district winners and that kind of stuff. But like I said, we could spend a lot of time on that type of stuff. But we're happy to go up there. Me and Kyle, our friends, we're from kind of the same area in Brevard County. And like I said before, like I said someone else tonight, it makes game planning a little easier. They know us and we know them, and it's going to go out there and who executes the best.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Big win over Baldwin. Best of luck next week up in Nassau County against Yulee.
Thank you, guys.
Kevin Mays of Baker County. Let's go talk to a man that you heard his team right here on 1010XL this evening. Matt Toblin of the Bowles Bulldogs. Winners tonight over Bishop Kenny. They advanced to round number 2. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Coach, this game kind of was a lot like the regular season game, right? Close for a while. Game was certainly in question at halftime. And then you guys just, again, found a way to pull away from Bishop Kenny there in the fourth quarter.
No, agreed. And I think, our offensive line and our defensive line at some point started to kind of take over the game. And they, Kenny did a great job. They fought, their butts off and took some swings early and made it a competitive game. We're just lucky that we made the plays we needed to make in the second half.
Coach, tell us about some individual performances tonight for the Bulldogs.
Well, I think that the big one and the one that the kids, identified right away when we come together and do love, honor, respect in the games was the offensive line. That we have had some injuries and we had some kids playing in different roles. And Andre Terrence is a linebacker for us who is a left back on the soccer team, played in the soccer team on Wednesday, and then because of injury got thrown in as an offensive lineman today at guard and went in and executed. And that, the offensive line doing a great job allowed Emmett Grisbin to have a big night rushing. Ty contributed to the rushing attack, and that really kept a lot of pressure on them. And then when you're scoring points, it forced Kenny to try to do some aggressive things and throw the ball around, and we were lucky to take advantage of those.
It's interesting, Matt Toblin of Bowles. I think many people expected Bowles and Rains probably in round 3. We get it in round 2 as you guys will go to the graveyard next week. Look, the regular season probably wasn't what you hoped for, Coach. Obviously, there's a standard at Bowles, but none of that matters, right? I guess the only reason it matters now is you see Rains maybe a week earlier than you thought you would see him, but I imagine you knew you were going to see them. They knew they were going to see you, and let's get after it next Friday night.
No, it's such an amazing rivalry game, and having got the chance to be a part of it for the first time last year, like, it just means so much to both communities because of the history that Coach Rogers and Coach Wiley left for both programs. And so, like, we get asked that when we're out by alumni, like, hey, are you guys playing Reigns, like, in the playoffs? And like, okay, all right, I'm going to come to that one. It just means so much to both communities. And so we are excited to do it. And you're right. I mean, the regular season, but the goal of the regular season is positioning, but also it's to be like, hey, look, is our team ready for the road ahead? And that, look, we took some on the chin and obviously lost more games than we would like to lose, but the real standard is going to be, are we ready to make a playoff run? And so we'll find out Friday night when we make a trip to the Graveyard.
And you've made several playoff runs, whether it be with Bowles, Ponte Vedra. You know, you're a veteran of this, Coach Tobin. You've seen this before. It almost feels like with your teams, a switch is flipped, because you guys went 4-0 last year in November on your way to a Final Four last year. To me, it looks like you guys just hit a different gear when you get to this part of the year.
No, and I think that's part of it. I think that playoff football and pacing your team to get to that spot and then being able to dial in and be ready. I think that's the most important part, is using the regular season as a vehicle to be ready for the playoffs. And that's ultimately what we're always going to do about. Like, it's about November, December games. And so when we hit this part of the calendar, like, we should be peaking, not like ready to fizzle. And so I think a huge part of it is, you know, our kids don't want it to end. That the most exciting thing we get to do at the end of every playoff game, if we win, is to say, see you on Monday, because we're going to get to keep practicing together. And then I think as you go throughout a year, especially a tough one like we had, to keep that mindset of like, look, I don't want it to end. That there are teams we get to the end, like, look, I'm ready for basketball season. Like, this has been a grind. Like, I'm ready for it to be over. And our kids always, when they get to it, like, look, I just want to keep practicing. Like, I just don't want it to end. And then when you have teams that are like that, you got a chance to win a lot of ball games late in the year.
Matt Toblin of Bowles, winners tonight over Bishop Kenny. Reigns and Bowles next Friday night in the Graveyard. You'll hear it right here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I'm very much looking forward. This will be my first trip to the Graveyard for a game. We've gone over there for 7-on-7. This will be my first trip for a game, so we're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Coach. That'll be quite the scene over there at the Graveyard next week. And you look ahead, Gibby, as we will hopefully get Steve Price and maybe one or two other coaches. Most of the coaches we've had on, RJ's done a great job. You look to round 2. Now, keep in mind, next week is already University Christian, Trinity Christian.
Yep.
Because those teams had a bye this week, so that game is going to be played next week. But then you look at what we'll have with Baker County traveling to Yulee, right? You look at what we'll have with Ponte Vedra traveling to Gainesville-Buchholz, Bowles traveling to Reigns, Riverside hosting on a great Orlando team in Bishop Moore. It is going to be a good Friday night, round 2 of high school football.
I'm ready for Bowles Reigns like right now. Let's go to the Graveyard and play it right now. It's going to be an incredible game. Trying to update you on Navarre Bartram Trail. Last report that I've seen, Bartram leads 55-42. This is a fourth quarter game, fourth quarter score in this game. So we'll see if Bartram can hang on 55-42.
Be an unbelievable win for Bartram to go that far. I saw Bartram actually stopped in Tallahassee to have their walkthrough at the indoor facility for Florida State.
Nice.
And then had to go on out to Navarre afterwards. Quickly back to Region 2M. You know who's got lucky in that whole thing with the seeding is Riverside.
Yes.
Riverside will not have to play both Bowles and Reigns. Assuming Riverside beats Bishop Moore, which is going to be tough.
Yeah.
But if Riverside does it, the thought was, would Riverside have to go through both Bowles and Reigns? No, they're not going to have to. Riverside, if they win, would get the winner of Bowles and Reigns in the regional final. So Riverside all of a sudden sitting in a pretty good spot. They're going to be at home next week in the backyard, and Orlando Bishop Moore is going to have to come up here. More to do. We'll give you a Gatorade player of the game. We'll start making the turn for home. We'll look back on a couple of teams whose seasons came to an end tonight as well. It is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights postgame. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic Service, and Air Conditioning with R.J. Saunders and Andrew Gibson. The hacker Ryan Green with you here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Some people call it X.
What?
Some still call it Twitter.
Okay, I got it.
Whatever you call it, it's the best place for up-to-the-minute Jags coverage from 1010XL.
Come on, admit it. Almost everyone you know seems to be playing pickleball now, right? So whether you just want to learn how to play or you're ready to show off your elite pickleball skills, the Y is the place for you. Visit our brand new McGuire Family Pickleball Center at the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach. 5 top quality outdoor courts and 3 amazing indoor courts where you can learn about dinks, dillball, falafel, the kitchen, and more pickleball slang at the Y.
At ABBQ, they are turning up the heat this football season like no other. Picture this, 15 massive TVs strategically placed throughout the restaurant so you won't miss a single touchdown. Step into their huge outdoor area where the excitement of the game meets the fresh air. Here's the kicker, and this is a big one for me. They got the sound on blast throughout the restaurant for the whole game. Your destination for mouth-watering barbecue and an unforgettable game day. ABBQ, meet and drink with us.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade. The studied, tested, and proven fuel for the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
Mia here, and let me tell you about one of our area's best resorts, the Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa. The Sawgrass Marriott is not only a great destination for a vacation, but it is also a great destination for dining on the Florida's First Coast. 1912 Ocean Bar and Rooftop is now open on Ponte Vedra Boulevard, featuring Ponte Vedra's only oceanfront rooftop bar and lounge. Serving finely crafted cocktails and delectable eats, it's open daily from 4 to 10 with complimentary valet parking.
Hey, Jags fans, are you tired of roof leaks raining on your parade? Don't worry, Universal Roof and Contracting has got you covered. Their expert team of roofers will get your roof back in the game so you can focus on cheering on the Jags. Locally owned and operated, they've serviced Florida homeowners for over 30 years. Visit universalroof.com to schedule your free estimate today. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 1330747, CBC 1258484.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Hey, babes, the toilet is running.
Really? Oh, where's it going?
Well, Mr. Funny Man, it's going to our water bill, increasing our monthly costs, which are already sky high. Not to mention the absolute waste of water.
Yeah, okay then. I'll call Duck Rooter.
Toilet running? Clogged drain or leaky faucet? We have your solution. Duck Rooter, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 904-862-6769.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I recorded this only 3 days after starting Awaken 180, and the results are startling. 7 pounds gone in 3 days. I chatted with Mike Dempsey about the results, and he's like, I told you. He dropped 25 pounds in just over a month. I certainly have more than 25 pounds to lose, but with the results I'm having so far, I'll reach my goal in no time. The program is pretty much dummy-proof. My words, not Awakening 180s, of course. And why is it dummy-proof? It's because my coach, Sarah, does all the work. She built a plan based on my body, my habits, my taste buds for that matter, and all I do is follow it. I'm eating to lose weight, and it's a game changer. Stay tuned because these results will continue until I drop my pounds. If you're in the same boat I was, wishing the weight away, make the call. The solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss. 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. For 46 years, Monahan's has been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with thousands of items of fine jewelry on display. But did you know we also have the fastest jewelry repair in town? That's right, our team of master jewelers are among the best craftsmen Jacksonville has to offer, and Monahan's can execute almost any repair with one-day service. Ring sizing, stone setting, prong replacement, one-day turnaround. Monahan's has the fastest jewelry repair in town. It doesn't matter how complex, Monahan's can do it in 1 day or 2. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Get closer to nature.
I'm Jeff Logman with Captain Kevin and Captain Kirk. We take you from the water to the woods.
The Nimnicht Outdoor Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services, 7 to 10 every Saturday morning on 1010XL.
This is your Mad Dads Update with Chapter President Donald Ford. Mad Dads is asking for good, committed men who want to be part of an organization that has been around for 17 years. We are a group that is part of the solution, not the problem. We are a group that don't stand around murmuring and complaining, but get into action and hit the streets to get the community to break the code of silence to remove the murderers off our streets. We do not require a lot of time, just willing and able bodies to get involved. We've had far too many murders this year already not to get involved. If you want to be part of this great organization, call 904-718-1649. We're looking for men, not men acting like boys. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think. For information about Mad Dad, go to Mad Dads Jacksonville Chapter Facebook or MadDadsJacksonville.com.
The best time of the year for blue crabs right now at the Blue Crab Crab House. They've been open since 1996, and they are a staple here in Duval. Sundays, you have the Bloody Mary specials, mimosas as well, $2.50 noon until 5 o'clock. Of course, each and every Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oysters. Right off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road, it is the Blue Crab Crab House.
Denny Thompson here. Are you a home builder looking for a reliable low-voltage partner? Look no further than Tyson Sound & Security. They've been working hard with large and small builders for 15 years. Here's why they are the top choice. They will enhance your home buyer's home experience by offering custom home design appointments, and your budget stays intact while they deliver top-quality services. Builders, send your plans over today to bid. Tyson Sound & Security, security and home automation experts.
So I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $30,000 a year and right now graduate making over $80,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition and no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted into the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees, around $700 a year.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 23rd.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Great job by R.J. Saunders. We've literally talked to every head coach that won a round one game tonight. We got Coach Steve Price of Ponte Vedra, Coach Antoine Nicholas of Riverside will be right after him. And we can't talk to Corey Johns yet. That game is still in doubt. Bartram Trail over in Navarre, 6 hours from here in the Central Time Zone. We got 55-49 Bartram late in the fourth quarter.
What a game.
Good grief. Hopefully that game goes final. I can't imagine it's going to last too much longer. We're approaching the 3-hour mark. But again, we got 55-49 Bartram late in the fourth. To St. Johns County we go. Steve Price of Ponte Vedra. What a win tonight over Creekside. Coach joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, thanks. It was a great night to be a Shark.
Coach, it was an interesting dynamic, right? You just played these guys 7 days ago. It was a hard-fought game. You get them again 7 days later in the rematch. You guys get it done tonight, and obviously the more important game, the playoff game, to advance. You must be very, very pleased.
I am. I'm really proud of our kids. I'd never been through anything like this, where you play a team back-to-back like that. Didn't really know what to expect. I guess we kind of treated it as a really long halftime, and kind of made adjustments and those type of things. And our kids showed a lot of grit tonight. It was a great high school football game. Got a lot of respect for Coach McIntyre and the Creekside group. I think those guys do a great job, and our kids just played really well in order to get the victory.
Coach, congratulations on the round one win. Knowing the fact that you played this team 7 days ago, did you approach this game tonight any differently than last week?
We really didn't approach it much differently than last week. It was kind of ironic. Second half of last week, we did some things defensively that really helped us, and we kind of said, okay, well, we'll go back to that to start the game. Well, it kind of hurt us at the start of the game, so we went back to the original game plan first half of last week, and it worked a lot better this week. Who knows? I mean, it's just, I thought our kids just showed tremendous grit because, man, every time it looked like we were getting up a little bit on them, they would come back, and then we would come back, and just back and forth up and down the field, and it was a great high school football game.
And what does it say about your kids, too, against Steve Price of Ponte Vedra, winning 7 in a row? Look, the last 2 games could have gone either way against Nice and against Creekside last week, but things didn't go your way in the fourth quarter. For your kids to find resolve and come back in the playoffs and win a game like tonight, that says a lot about those young men, does it not, Coach?
It sure does, and that's what we're really proud of that because, at some point in their lives they'll be faced with adversity and just being someone that's known by toughness and grit and overcoming obstacles. That's what we want our kids to be about. I know that's what all the coaches in St. Johns County want our kids to be about. I think our coaches in our county do a fantastic job keeping the lessons learned in the sport of football primary. It's not all about just winning and losing football games. It's about teaching young men how to be winners at life. So really, really proud of our guys.
Coach, Gainesville Buchholz next week, very tough opponent. Early scouting report on the Bobcats.
Yeah, they're a great football team. We're gonna go in there and give it everything we got.
Well, Coach, congratulations. A big win tonight over Creekside, a trip to Gainesville next week against Buchholz in round 2 of the state playoffs. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you.
Steve Price of Ponte Vedra. It's a tall order, right? Yep. We know how good Buchholz is.
Or 11-0.
But you'd rather be playing them than not playing them, because if you're not playing them, it means you're not playing at all. So if given the option, I'm sure Ponte Vedra is happy they're making that trip next week.
Yeah, it's like Coach Toblin said, you don't want it to ever end, right? I mean, you want to be able to say we'll see you on Monday to prepare for round 2, and that's exactly what Ponte Vedra's got.
Another team that will be practicing on Monday is Riverside. They were winners tonight over Episcopal. They advanced to round 2. Antoine Nicholas of Riverside with us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Coach, dominating win for you guys over Episcopal. You don't see a lot of playoff games at 49-7. You guys put it all together tonight.
Oh, yeah. We got out to a quick start on a block punt and went up top to Tayshawn Gelsey. We had some things rolling early.
Coach, speaking of rolling, I mean, you guys have won several in a row here dating back to the regular season. What has been kind of the key to all that?
Just building, the chemistry and just taking it 1 week at a time. Being able to get some things going offensively in the run game, pass game, chemistry with our quarterback, wide receiver, defense been consistent the past couple of weeks for us, doing what they're doing to creating turnovers and opportunities for us. And just like how we flying around and playing and competing right now.
Antoine Nicholas of Riverside. We were hoping it was going to be Riverside Ed White from a local point of view. Orlando Bishop Moore had other plans, Coach, but they're going to have to come up to the backyard, right? Next week, you guys as the 2 seed will be the home team. What do we know about Bishop Moore, who's making that trip up here?
Oh yeah, good program, private school, pretty big up front. They got some pieces that they're, running with, so it's gonna be a good, interesting test for us.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win, and obviously a home game next week. You're one home win away from being in the regional final. That's got a nice ring to it. Congratulations on the win tonight, Coach.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Antoine Nicholas of Riverside, and it's that simple. They win a home game at the backyard next week. They're one of the final 8 teams left in the state of Florida.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, credit goes to him and his staff. We did wonder when O.J. Small left, what would Riverside look like and how would it look? That was an honest question, and Coach has done a really great job. Like you said, they're 1 win away from being a part of the final 8.
According to the scoreboard, Bartram Trail has scored 61-49, less than 3 minutes to go. So it looks like Bartram's going to get on a bus, drive 6 hours back with a huge win over Navarre. I'll have to see what that means as far as who they're going. Oh, you know what that means? I'll tell you exactly what that means. They're going to get Niceville next week. But they're going to get Niceville at home, I would imagine. They're the higher seed, so they'll get the home game, so they won't have to drive back out there 6 hours. Niceville will have to come back over here. It's going to be tough for Niceville, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, can you imagine going out there 6 hours, winning, and then having to go back again?
And Niceville's doing it. Because Niceville came over here to beat Nice.
Yeah.
They're going to go home. They're going to have to come right back over here next week if the score holds to play Bartram. Final segment coming up. We'll do the Gatorade Player of the Week. We'll preview round 2. Quickly, some of the teams that seasons ended tonight. You're very close to the Bishop Kenny program. Certainly some disappointment not getting any farther than round 1.
Yeah, it is. They've had we heard Coach Tim Krause was on with you this week, and he basically said we've had our ups and downs. I mean, we've had a lot of injuries. I think they've had plenty of injuries that they could point to that really did not help them this year. But James Reeser, his career's done at Bishop Kenny, one of the great quarterbacks that they've had. You go back to John Wolford. You go back to several guys that they've had over the years there, and he's going to go play college football at Iowa. And there's a bunch of seniors. They had 20+ seniors on this team this year, I believe, is what the number was. And a lot of those guys poured a lot into the program.
Couple of teams tonight just ran into buzzsaws, right? Jackson ran into Rains. Episcopal ran into Riverside. Middleburg ran into St. Augustine. First Coast ran into Orlando Edgewater. But for those kids, those teams to make the playoffs and in First Coast case win a district title, it hurts now, but give it a couple of weeks and they reflect back. It was good seasons for them.
It was. And, you think back, if you're a coach, if you're a player, whatever it might be, however long you play in high school football, you're going to remember it. You just are. I mean, there's years go by and you get older, you're going to remember these moments that you play, whether in the regular season, if you're fortunate enough to get to the playoffs like a lot of these teams are, you're certainly going to remember those games.
And there are a couple of teams that are probably upset that it ends tonight. Fletcher is probably one of those. They wanted revenge on Tampa Bay Tech. Tech got them again. Baldwin, I'm sure, doesn't feel very good losing to Baker County for a second time. Ed White losing to Bishop Moore, and Creekside losing to Ponte Vedra.
Yeah.
Again, I think when they look back at it, they're going to feel like maybe they should have gone a little farther.
Yeah, I think so. Creekside winning the game last week and then turning right around the very next week and then falling to Ponte Vedra. And look, that's a close-knit community there. They know that they don't want to lose to Ponte Vedra and vice versa for the Ponte Vedra side. So those rivalries just get even more intense.
Again, this scoreboard is insane. I'm hoping it's accurate because now I just have Navarre scoring with 90 seconds to go.
Wow.
And it's 61-55 Bartram with 90 seconds to go. So we'll see. I would imagine an onside kick's got to be coming, right? With 90 seconds left. I don't know how many timeouts Navarre has. We'll keep you updated. Hopefully it goes final here in the next 10 or 15 minutes. We'll come back. We'll take a look at round 2, kind of set the scene for what looks to be a great Friday night next week of state playoff action with Andrew Gibson and RJ Saunders. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. One segment to go here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
He's lived on the line of scrimmage, so he sees things we miss.
I'm Jeff Logman, and I'll tell you what I saw on Check the Tape Tuesday.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky of the First Coast, your on-time electrician.
Tuesdays from 10 to noon on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. Beaver's annual Black Friday silent sale. Every car on the lot will be discounted so low, we can't even show the prices on TV. Doors open at 6 a.m. Friday. First come, first served. And once they're gone, it's over. Plus, anyone who buys between 6 and 9 a.m. will get a big screen TV and $1,000 cash. Want more? We're giving away free oil changes between 6 and 9 a.m. The Black Friday silent sale only at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. You don't want to miss this.
The year is almost over. Do you need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Listen, if you have a ton of equity in your house and Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash, you can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards, pay off personal loans, or start that home improvement project. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact. So your 3% rate, it's protected. And with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line program, 90% of the time, there's no need for an appraisal. So you can get your money super fast. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards before the new year. Get yourself on solid financial footing before the year ends and call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
1010XL is a proud sponsor of Operation New Uniform's 10th Annual Heroes Gala, featuring retired Army Lieutenant Colonel and former Congressman Alan West. Saturday, December 2nd at Sawgrass Marriott. Operation New Uniform is a free, life-changing program that helped me, David Trenholm, successfully transition from a 20-year career in the United States Navy to the business world. Join 1010XL and sponsor Operation New Uniform's 10th Annual Heroes Gala today. Go to onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org today.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
You can play golf with Josh Scobie and other former Jaguars players and celebrities while raising money for the First Tee. November 13th at Deerwood Country Club's First Tee Open.
Your high school girls can join the Duval Tides girls rugby team. No tryouts and no experience necessary. Learn everything you need to know at Jack's HS Girls Rugby on Facebook and Instagram.
To walk in the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Light the Night Walk on November 16th at UNF. Register at lightthe.night.org.
Your kids 6 to 18 can compete in track and field in the Police Athletic League. Sign up at jackspalsports.org.
Having a mentor can positively change a young life right here in Jacksonville. It only takes 4 to 7 hours a month to be a big brother or big sister and change a life forever. Become a big today at bbbsnefl.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
At ABBQ, they are turning up the heat on game day with a spread that'll make your taste buds do a victory dance. Football and barbecue always play together. I'm talking mouth-watering wings, juicy burgers, and tantalizing appetizers that'll keep your hunger in check as you cheer for your team. Come for the food and football, and stay for the teal-colored Jell-O shots. Your destination for a mouth-watering barbecue and an unforgettable game day. ABBQ. Meet and drink with us.
I'm Hayes Carline. I'm always going to have opinions, but sometimes I've got to get the hammer out. Listen to Hammer Time, weekdays on The Frangie Show on 1010XL. Brought to you by Golden Hammer Roofing and Gutters, the golden standard in roofing.
Pastor Joby Martin here with the Church of 1122. We are honored once again to partner with the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for the Great Futures Weekend, which includes golf and Mackenzie's 5K run at the esteemed TPC Stadium course. Help us continue to honor Mackenzie Wilson's legacy. That's Friday and Saturday, November 17th and 18th. You can golf or you can run. It'll be a great time. Additional info at MackenzieRun.org. Proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida.
Go to the green every Saturday morning.
Happy learned how to putt.
And get golf tips and talk to help make your golf game more fun on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Time now for the Gatorade Player of the Week. Gatorade, the world's #1 sports drink and the proven fuel of high school athletes. Nothing beats Gatorade. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie.
All right, Gibby, there were a ton of really good performances tonight, but as that happens every week, one stands out above the crowd. Who is this week's Gatorade Player of the Week?
You know, we had a lot of kids that really put it on the line tonight for round one of the playoffs. A lot of big performances, but I'm going to give it to Devontae Lyons, the running back for St. Augustine. Had a couple touchdowns in this game tonight and a big win over Middleburg. Devontae Lyons had a 95-yard touchdown run in the ball game tonight for St. Augustine, helping push the Yellow Jackets into the second round.
Devontae Lyons of St. Augustine, your Gatorade Player of the Week. All right, so Bartram, 4 minutes to go, is apparently leading Navarre 67-55 in what is now the 5th highest scoring game in the history of the Florida High School Athletic Association state playoffs. I remember, I think the highest scoring game was a local game. Remember Bishop Kenny Clay? Actually, this might have been, when did you come to Jacksonville?
14.
Yeah, it was right around when you came to Jacksonville. It might have been a little before that. It was like 73-71. Yeah. There was a game between Clay and Bishop Kenny.
That was John Wolford.
Yeah, Johnny Wolford. Yeah, that was. That's right. So this game is starting to rival that. Bartram 67-55. They're on the doorstep of getting a huge win against Navarre.
Incredible win, and there's not a whole lot of defense being played in this one, that's for sure. 67-55 with, gosh, it can't be too much time left in this one. I would think a minute, 90 seconds left.
All right, let's quickly look at what we have coming up next week. St. Augustine's going to be home against, it looks like, Escambia from Pensacola. It's going to be a long trip. It's going to be one of the Pensacola schools. I think Escambia was winning at last check. St. Augustine's got to be the clear favorite, right? I mean, They're undefeated for a reason. You got a team making a 6-hour bus ride to your place. Great position for St. Augustine to be in.
It really is, and St. Augustine continues to fire on all cylinders. Lachlan Hewlett, the quarterback for St. Augustine, had another good night tonight. Carl Jenkins, Devontae Lyons is our player of the week. They've got so much talent on that team, and you would think they would have the upper hand in this one.
Jacksonville School owes Bishop Moore one. Bishop Moore beat Bishop Kenny in the regular season, knocked out Ed White tonight. Now Bishop Moore will come up on Friday night to take on Riverside. Hopefully Riverside can get a little bragging rights back for the city of Jacksonville.
Yeah, you know, Frangie was asking me earlier tonight on give me a couple teams that you think could make a pretty good run. I mentioned Riverside as one of those. I mean, Riverside is in a pretty good spot with where they land in the bracket. Plus, they're playing good football. I mean, they're 9-2, 9-3 this year total, and they beat Trinity earlier this year in a game that really came down to the wire. You know, Antoine Nicholas has got it really going well right now at Riverside, and I would watch them for a potential deep run here in the playoffs.
Bradford County will host Gainesville Eastside. You got to like Bradford County next week to remain undefeated.
You do. Bradford is just on a completely different level. Their 5th shutout of the year they had tonight against Atlantic, and Coach Jamie Rogers has just got them rolling again.
Ponte Vedra is going to go to Gainesville Buchholz. Huge win tonight for Ponte Vedra over Creekside. That's a tough putt next week playing Buchholz. I think everybody at Ponte Vedra knows that, but I will never forget in my life Ponte Vedra in the state championship game. Was it 2015, 2016 against Plantation American Heritage? And that was back when Nick Troney was the quarterback at Ponte Vedra and Matt Toblin was the coach. And Ponte Vedra battled that American Heritage team. That was Pat Surtan and Tyson Campbell and all these guys were on the field that night.
Probably Sonny Michelle.
So, yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous the amount of talent American Heritage had out there. Those Ponte Vedra kids through the years, they'll battle you. And the tall order next week, but I wouldn't put it past Ponte Vedra to give Buchholz a great game.
Yeah, Buchholz is undefeated. They're 6-0 on the road, 5-0 at home. Look, they're a juggernaut. They've won 11 straight, and I don't know how many games have been close this year. But look, I always subscribe to the fact that nobody's unbeatable. I mean, they could come out and turn the ball over 4 or 5 times, and Ponte Vedra's right in this thing. Not saying that's what's going to happen, but they have not played many close games. They beat Bartram Trail this year 44-7, and that tells you a lot right there.
I get the feeling, talking to Toby Bullock earlier, that Mandarin is going to be very motivated next week getting a rematch against Lake Mary down in Orlando.
No question about it, because they felt like, and they were in that football game, had a chance, but they turned it over 5 times. And it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you turn it over 5 times, then you're not giving yourself a shot. And, Mandarin's going to be very motivated to go see what Lake Mary's got next week for them.
Baker County travels to Yulee. This will be the 4th time these teams have played in basically 13 months. Baker won the regular season matchup. They got to go to Nassau County to play Yulee next week in round 2.
Yeah, and those are 2 teams and 2 coaches that know each other pretty well, right? I mean, Yulee and Baker County are no stranger to what you should expect. What we will see in this game is a really hard-fought game. It's kind of odd that Baker goes on the road for this one, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Baker the district champion, yet they are on the road taking on Yulee next week. Certainly the big one that we're going to be talking about, in fact, let's save that for 1 second. One game that will be played next week, 2 teams that had byes, Trinity Christian and University Christian next week. Don't want to forget that one. What a gigantic game and a gigantic opportunity for University Christian. They did not have the season that they wanted. All of that can be corrected in 48 minutes next week if they knock off Trinity.
It can, and Trinity's not a team that looks unbeatable this year. They've lost a couple of games. We mentioned Riverside beat them earlier this year. They've won, I think, several in a row now, so Trinity may be starting to right the ship a little bit. University Christian has not been as good as recent years, that's for sure. Bishop Kenny beat them in the regular season finale to end their season in the regular season, so we'll see. I would probably give Trinity the upper hand in this one, but that's why we play the games.
And then finally, a game that you'll hear on our air at the Graveyard will probably be the game of the week. Bowles goes to Rains next Friday night.
And Matt Toblin told us he's not coached there. This will be his first time coaching there, certainly as the Bowles head coach. Donovan Maslin, Matt Toblin's going to be a great coaching matchup, going to be a great matchup on the field. Rains, again, we bring this up a lot, but it bears repeating again. Rains has not lost to a Jacksonville team this year. They're, 10-1 now? And the only loss was to Daytona Beach Mainland, who went 9-1. So can't wait for that one.
Gibby, we'll do it one more time next Friday night.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
That is Andrew Gibson. R.J. Saunders. Absolutely terrific job. R.J., welcome back under the Friday Night Lights. We certainly appreciate your work. It has been the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. We have been presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic Service, and Air Conditioning. I will talk to you on Sunday, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Niners go final. Brand new location for the 5th quarter. We're at Players Grill in Mandarin off of San Jose Boulevard, hopefully talking about a Jaguar victory. Until then, have an absolutely fantastic weekend, Jacksonville.
Plowman